Hi, my name is Ben Ueda, and welcome to my office here at Freegreen.com. Now, I was trained as an architect, but today my work involves a lot more than just designing buildings. Since I graduated college, I've been trying to design not just new types of sustainable buildings, but new concepts for how progressively minded architects can interact with our society. I'd like to share with you some of my work. So take a look, but remember, it's not about the concrete, steel, and glass, but about the people, the purpose, and the vision. To me, architecture is not really about drawings and calculations. It's more about vision and leadership. It's about creating a vision of what could be and then working until others are convinced that it has to be. Now, I always tell my students that the most important thing that they can be is convincing. It's our job to get people to spend their time, money, and effort to physically manifest our ideas. And now the really exciting thing is, there's so many different ways we can do this. Well, I think the project I did in Red Hook, Brooklyn is actually like a good example about how a small project can gain momentum and actually turn into a much larger project. In this case, what started as a student documentary actually became a documentary film that is now being featured in international film festivals. During my first year of grad school, I had this really uptight German professor who wanted us to do a project on Red Hook, Brooklyn. Now, Red Hook was in the process of being gentrified at the time and was full of derelict shipping yards and industrial buildings. When I first visited, I was immediately struck by the large number of homeless people that were living on the streets and in the abandoned buildings. So while all of my classmates started doing these large-scale urban master plans that would never have a chance of being funded or built, I really wanted to do something more visceral. So I decided to live on the streets with the homeless people and document my experience. Now, I did this for two reasons. The first, to better understand the context and experience of being homeless, and secondly, to produce documentation that would make their plight and culture more real. And if you think about what an architect does, this type of work makes a lot of sense. An architect produces media in an attempt to bring immaterial and conceptual ideas into the material world. I was trying to make the overlooked plight of the homeless more visible and more real so that when I proposed the physical means of intervention, people would understand its purpose. One of the things I love about my work is that I get to travel to exotic locations, and not just to see the sights, but to actually get involved with the culture. After graduating, the first project we got was to design a little eco-hotel on a small island in the Caribbean called Dominica. Now, my first reaction was, great, I'm going to chill on the beach, maybe do a little diving, but no, Dominica is actually covered in volcanic rock and lush rainforest. And the site that we were going to build on was in the middle of the rainforest. So the challenge we faced wasn't just drawing the building, but actually figuring out how to get the materials and technologies needed to build an off-the-grid solar-powered hotel to the middle of the rainforest. We encountered shipping delays, hurricane damage, on top of communication and logistical challenges. The client for this project was great, but like most clients, he wanted more than he could afford. So we were faced with this challenge. How do we design a big space on a small budget? Now, when building off the grid, the most expensive components are the solar panels and the batteries needed to produce and store the electricity. So the first thing we thought is this building's not intended for people who want to hang out indoors all day. So maybe we don't need to air condition the whole building, but rather just air condition the people. So rather than make one big insulated building, we made two little ones with large breezeways in between them. On either end of the building are two super insulated boxes, each with their own independent air conditioning unit. Then we designed large communal breezeway spaces in such a way that they would funnel prevailing breezes through the spaces. A sloped roof not only provides shade, but angles in such a way that it promotes convection, essentially venting the hot air out the top while drawing cool shaded air from beneath the slatted floorboards. Custom designed rotating doors not only guide the breezes, but provide protection during hurricanes. So traveling to exotic locations is great and all, but it doesn't always pay the bills. That's why at Zero Energy Designs, we also focus on high-end green homes here in the US. This is a really cool project we designed on Cape Cod. It's a zero-energy beach house. Now, a zero-energy home is one that produces as much energy as it uses. In addition to designing with the environment in mind, it is important to make sure that we are creating spaces that people like and feel comfortable in. Our clients really wanted us to take advantage of their ocean views, so we focused on simple, wide-open spaces that provide plenty of natural light. It's important to remember that while geothermal systems, LED lighting, and photovoltaic panels are great, there's more to a home, even a green home, than just a collection of technologies. The newest project, one I'm very excited about, is Freegreen.com. Now in America, the most common type of building is a single-family suburban house. Now the shocking part is, even though hundreds of thousands of these are built every year, less than 5% of them have an architect involved with the project. Now the question for architects becomes, how do we improve something ecologically when we're not even involved in the process? Well, our answer is Freegreen.com. At Freegreen, we allow people to download high-quality home designs for free. Now we can do this because we've realized that design is more powerful as a type of media than as a custom service. So instead of charging users who are looking for a new home design, we charge product companies a fee to place their products in the design. This is great because it allows us to distribute the cost of producing green design and give away a high-quality product for free.